So far, our live broadcast is now back up and running. And yep, there we go. We are pretty good. Now, I know we probably missed a play, but evidently we are going to go back through and see what went on that one. Oh, don't you hate it when the aggravating when you have something like that continue as it is. We'll go back through our history. And there we go. There it is. Well, evidently, I guess internet sometimes acts up, but it's not all the time that it acts up. So still a 3-0 ball game here as we have R.J. Yeager now up there at first base. Underway. And Leo Dallo, or Jeremy Rivas, being the next batter up here in this one. 2 outs, runner at first. Now we do apologize. We will bring you the full length of this broadcast as we go through on the end of this broadcast after we get into our pregame show. That's going to be line drive, and that's going to get through for a base hit. Both outfielders give a chase. And that'll plate in Springfield's 4th run on an RBI triple.
The center fielder, Chris Rotondo.
And that's going to bring in Chris Rotondo right there. Well, gotta say, evidently with the broadcast that cut out the first time and Bob had to reboot things, that was in for a strike as the count now 0-1. 2 outs, runner at third here in the top of the 4th inning for Springfield. Here's the pitch. That's fouled off. The count now 0-2. Evidently, or we're going to look at what we have seen and stuff. And the 0-2 right there, swing and a miss. And that will do it. But Jeremy Rivas getting a RBI triple, and they will extend the lead to 4-0 for Springfield. And we head now to the bottom of the 4th inning. Cardinals leading 4-0. Mears, Castañon, and Campbell will lead it off here in the bottom of 4 when we come back. About time to go for the bottom half of the fourth inning right now. The Missions Baseball Network. Well, center fielder Joshua Mears coming up now as 3-4-5 due up against Alex Cornwell. They'll take an inside strike. The count now at 0-1. Springfield leading 4-0 after the RBI triple that we have seen. Evidently, that last out, Yendry Rojas got in there, and that's when the broadcast was cut to at least an hour and 7 minutes and 50 seconds on our timer. Well, we do apologize for the cut of our stream, and yes, we are back to give you more of the action here.
Number 6,
Springfield leading 4-0 in this ball game. Here is Marcos Castañon as he comes in. And the pitch, that's a swing and a miss. The count now 0-1. The 0-1, and that's in for a called strike. And it's 0-2. Stadium lights coming full effect here, and that's going to be line drive right there, fair ball. That's a base hit. And boy, pretty good as Castañon gets on first. Here is right fielder Jacob Campbell coming in. And that's going to be line straightaway center, and that's out number 2, caught by the center fielder.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Cole Roederer.
Well, that'll bring up the designated hitter, Cole Roederer, 1-for-1 single. It's a pretty good one here as runner at first, 2 down. Springfield leading 4-0. San Antonio trying to get in here and get something going, and that's going to be fouled off. Left fielder will fall right on his belly. No balls, 1 strike to the designated hitter, Roederer. And that's going to be right there. Extra bases. Throw down to third, and they don't get them, and that will put runners at second and third.
Now batting, third baseman, Gentry.
Or should I say first and third. Looks could be deceiving at times, right, Bob? Yeah, I got to say, absolutely right. Well, run in to score on the RBI single by Yendry Rojas. And San Antonio says no more shutout. Time to put some runs on the board. Unlike last night, 11 for the final. Boy, the Missions came in the bottom of the 6th inning, put some 6 runs for the home side 6. And San Antonio just came in full frontal attack on Springfield. No balls, 1 strike to Norwelli and Cedeno. 2-on, 2 out here in this one. And that will be fouled off. The count now 0-2. Springfield 4, San Antonio 1 here in this ball game. And the pitch.
Ball 1.
That is in, but out for a ball. The count now 1-2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be right there. Line drive. And that's going to get through to the left fielder. And that will be out number 3. So 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, 2 left. And we head to the 5th inning. Springfield leading this one 4-1 against San Antonio. Darlene Moquete, Davis, and Page will lead it off for the Cardinals when we come back here in this one. Now set to go for the top of the fifth right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, we will have a new reliever coming in for the middle half for the top of the fifth inning for San Antonio. Kevin Kopp's coming as a four-seam cutter and a two-seam fastball. He'll be on the pitch for San Antonio here in this one. Well, Darlin Moquete will greet Kopp's up for the first time. We go for the top of the fifth. That is fouled in the way. The count now at 0-1. Full recap of tonight's game. That one is driven up nicely. That is up to center field. That's a base hit. Bring you all that at the end of tonight's broadcast in our after-game show. That way you don't say, hey, something happened, split the broadcast in half. It kind of happens when you have internet troubles, but evidently Bob is working out the kinks on that because he's like the number one guy that knows all of electronics and stuff. Yeah, you can say that, John. Chase Davis coming in. He's 0 for 2, batting a .322. Heads that one high up to center field. Mears moves under it and makes a play for out number 1. Well, that'll bring up Trey Page as he comes in. 1 for 2, RBI single back in the first inning. Pretty good right there. That one's an inside strike. The count now at 0-1. Boy, Tulsa leading Corpus Christi 7-2. And it looks like the Hooks are getting a whooping they never forgot. And all this time that Corpus Christi was struggling, those two ball clubs, Tulsa and the Hooks, have really struggled through the year. Not the best year that they would have here in 2025. Midland leading 4-0 against Amarillo tonight. Springfield 4-1 here in this broadcast. That's going to be right there. Cedeno, DeVries for 1. They get them both. Taco Bell double play, inning over. So no runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left on. And we head to the bottom of the fifth coming up for San Antonio. Springfield leading this one 4-1. We're back here as the Leo Dallas, DeVries, Fabian, and Valenzuela will get things going for the bottom of 5. Now set to go for the bottom of the fifth inning for San Antonio right now on the Missions Baseball Network. We're back at it. Leo Dallas DeVries will be the first one up for San Antonio in the bottom of 5. 9-1-2 against Alex Cornwell. Starts his fifth inning of work with 1 ball and no strikes account to DeVries. And that one driven up nicely. Watch that one get out of here. Long ball. See you later. Sidewalk souvenir. Leo Dallas DeVries struck again. Wow. And just like what he did on that final Sunday against Wichita, put that one out of reach. While San Antonio and Wichita that one day were tied 4-4, it was 2-1, and he was the one who whacked that home run out of the ballpark, making it a 7-4 walk-off win. Yeah, you don't forget that, do you, John? Nope. Not especially if it was the first half. But Leo Dallas DeVries being pretty good on that one. Springfield still leading this game 4-2 here in the bottom of 5. Here's pitch. That one is a high pop-up. Second baseman has his eyes on it. And there is out number 1.
Now batting, the catcher, Brandon Valenzuela.
Well, that'll bring up the catcher, Brandon Valenzuela. Coming in for San Antonio here in this one. Ethan Salas still out. And evidently, during the time against Midland, I'll tell you that one day, that Midland starter really put a hurting on Ethan Salas as he threw the ball and literally knocked him right in the arm. Now, Ethan had a cast on his arm, and yeah, we spoke to him, and he says, well, the doctor says I probably may not get to play until next season or so, but they're letting his arm rest up, and so far they're keeping him off the roster, but he is in good graces with San Antonio, and so far they are keeping him on the pay raise, which that is good. Center fielder Joshua Mears coming in now. No, and what's really worse, in the major leagues, a lot of people would usually get hit in the face on a fastball, and I've seen this one guy get hit in the forehead, and boy, his head was just bloody. Evidently, they took him off the field, and evidently he suffered a concussion. Like getting hit in the head by a croquet ball. Ouch. Well, Leo Dallas DeVries getting a solo home run here in this half inning. And it's a Springfield lead 4-2 as we head to the 6th inning here in San Antonio. We're back right after this from our proud sponsor, West Creek and Whataburger. Braden, Jolbert, Yeager, and Bernal will lead it off for the top of the 6th inning for Springfield when we come back. About set to go for the top of the 6th inning right now, the Mission's Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Braden Gilbert coming in now as we start up the top of the 6th inning for Springfield. Cardinals are leading 4-2 in this ball game. They have a good chance of winning this one. That's a line drive, and that's a base hit to left. And Gilbert gonna have a no-out double as he comes in. And that was straightaway left field for the left fielder Fabian to go after. So far, 5th potential run for Springfield. Now in scoring position. Here is R.J. Yeager as he comes in and takes a strike inside. And the count now at 0-1. No balls and 1 strike the count. Wind up and the pitch. That is right there. Line drive, base hit. And here comes the throw, not in time as he'll make it to third safely. And that will be the corners at 1st and 3rd. Well, that'll bring up Leonardo Bernal. Bernal coming in. 7-8-9 with 1st and 3rd. Nobody out. Springfield trying to do some damage, but San Antonio trying to keep it under control. Evidently trailing 2, but a bunch ready to come out on base. Here's the 0-1. That one is hit high in the air. Fabian in pursuit makes a grab, and here comes the runner from 3rd. And that will be a 3-run lead for Springfield.
Now batting, the second baseman, Ramon Mendoza.
And that'll bring in Ramon Mendoza. Boy, early on, he hit a pretty good one. Right down to left field to get a solo shot. That was pretty much early on in the broadcast. Mendoza coming in, and he's going to line that one up to right field. That's a base hit. Here comes the runner, and he is out at 3rd. What a play to get him down. And that's a costly mistake for Springfield. They apply the tag, and he was right on time. What a great play out there at the third base camera. But geez, that was just a beautiful play. Here is Jeremy Rivas. 2 outs and runner at 1st. Springfield leading 5-2 against San Antonio. They lead a 3-run lead against the Missions here tonight in the Wolf Stadium. Yeah, I got to say, John, that was a pretty unique play. When you see a runner get out there at third base, boy, the camera had it well perfectly in that zone. Yeah, for sure. Well, Tulsa leading Corpus Christi 8-2, bottom of the 5th inning. Springfield leading 5-2. That one fouled in the way. The count now at 0-2. Still hanging on is Rivas. And the pitch. That one chopped foul. And the count now still hanging on 0-2. Frisco and Arkansas, top of the 8th inning, scoreless. Almost a whole ball game scorelessness, especially in Wichita, too, against Northwest Arkansas. Here's the pitch. Fouled away. And still hanging on. Midland leading 4-0 against Amarillo. They're top of the 6th there at Franco Park. That is pretty good. Like Franco Park, we've been there a lot through this 2025 season. And that's going to be bashed right there. And that is off the line. And that's going to be an RBI double, and it comes in. As now Springfield leading this game
Now batting.
by
The center fielder,
at least a score.
Rotundo.
They lead by 4. Chris Rotundo coming in now. Had to do a little math. 4 plus 2 equals 6. Well, everybody knows that. Duh. You don't have to be mean. Oh, yeah. Rotundo 0 for 3, strikeout and a flyout, plus the ground out. Runner in scoring position, 2 down. Rotundo to the plate for Springfield. Take an inside strike, the count now at 0-2. Beautiful shot at San Antonio, and gotta say, it is a pretty good one indeed. Here's the pitch right there, high in the air, up to right field. Moving under it is Campbell, and that is this. No errors, 1 left. As we get ready for the bottom of the 6th inning, Springfield leading 6-2 in this broadcast.
Now,
We'll have a new reliever coming up for Springfield coming up in our broadcast on this Wednesday night. Cardinals up in front 6-2. Now set to go for the bottom of the sixth right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Jack Ralston coming up now as a right-hander in relief for Springfield approaches the mound. The four-seam curveball changeup and a two-seam fastball will pitch for Springfield for the bottom of six. First baseman Marcos Castañon coming up now. Missions trailing a 4-run ball game. Springfield in favor of this game. Andre Granillo coming in relief for the Cardinals. Beautiful Wednesday evening. Clouds a little bit. Sun already gone down. That's down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Evidently just absolutely perfect ball game temperature. Now getting to 90 degrees. Dropping a few, but not too much. That's a line drive. That's a base hit. It gets down at the wall, and he's going to turn for 2. Can he get in there? Yes, he will. Whataburger double. Boy, and that one by Marcos Castañon was a pretty good base hit. And right in time of the throw, he got everybody a double meat cheeseburger coupon courtesy of our friends there at Whataburger. Jacob Campbell is 0 for 1. He inherited the walk last time up. Third run for San Antonio. Nobody out. That one right there, and he bobbled it. Underhands got him. And that moves the runner from second to third.
Designated hitter.
As Campbell is down and out. Full Roederer 2 for 2, 2 singles here tonight. Missions trailing just 4 runs, but a third coming in, and that's going to be a liner straight away, and that'll be enough to put that run home. And now it's a 3-run lead for Springfield, but the Missions trailing only 3.
Now batting.
Hot corner man is Yendry Rojas, 1 for 2, RBI single in the 4th. Game rolling pretty good. Springfield trying to get out of this half inning without their scoring thing going on. But that will pretty much be it. So 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on as we head to the 7th inning. Springfield leading 6-3. Darlin, Mulgite, Davis, and Page will lead it off for the 7th inning. When we come back, the Cardinals in charge. Springfield 6-3. About ready to start the 7th inning for Springfield right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Darlin Molkete is leading it off for the Cardinals here. 2, 3, and 4 due up against Kevin Kopps. The pitch right there. That is a ground ball. Snuffed out. Down at first. He's out. And that is a beautiful, successful play.
Davis.
So that is out number 1 here in the 7th inning. Molkete is down. And that'll bring up Chase Davis, who is 0 for 3, strikeout and 2 flyouts of the evening. Wind up then the pitch. That's in for a strike. The count now 0-1. Top of the 9th inning. Boy, Frisco and Arkansas are scoreless in that ball game there at All-American Ballpark. That one high fly in the air, and that's out of play. The count now 0-2. Bottom of 7, and there is no score there in Wichita either. Tulsa leading Corpus Christi 9-2 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. That one is lifted high in the air up to foul grounds. Moving under his third baseman, Rojas, will get there to make the play for out number 2.
Now batting, third baseman, Trey Page.
Third baseman Trey Page coming in 1 for 3 as he had the RBI in the first inning. Springfield 6, San Antonio 3 in the broadcast tonight. And that's an inside strike. The count now 0-1. Got a full moon tonight. Well, it looks beautiful as after an end of a day that we've had. And very tiring. Here's the pitch. That's right there. And that is strike 2. The count now 0-2 on that one. Midland leading 4-1 against Amarillo there at Franco Park. Top of the 7th inning. And the 0-2. That one's skied high in the air up to center field. Moving under it is Mears. And that's the inning. Well, time for your 7th inning stretch. As Springfield leading this one 6-3 on the Wednesday night. Cedeno, DeVries, and Fabian will get ready to go on the bottom of 7. We're back here as we have our 7th inning stretch. And so far, it's going to be a pretty good one. Back after this, here on the show. Now set to go for the bottom half of the seventh inning. Right now for San Antonio, the Mission's Baseball Network. Well, here is Nerwillian Cedeno as we lead it off for the bottom of 7 for San Antonio. 8-9-1 due up against Jack Ralston as he'll come in and throw the first pitch in for a strike. It's 0-1. Golly, and that is a ball game that evidently goes scoreless.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Arkansas and Frisco now heading to the bottom of the 9th inning. Still no score, and it could be a one-run ball game to win it. So one down here in this one. And we're going to have a quick pause right now. And so far, seeing if everything is all right. And yeah, broadcast looking pretty good. Here is Leo Dallas DeVries as he comes in and is ready to go. Wind up and pitch. Right there, ground ball right to the pitcher, and he'll get him out easily at first base, and there's 2 down.
Number 30, Albert Fabian.
Albert Fabian coming in now. 0 for 3 flight out in the first inning. Back to the top of the San Antonio lineup. And so far, looking at that game,
Nope, outside.
evidently 3 hits apiece for both Frisco and Arkansas. And that one is fouled off the count now, 1-1. Frisco returns home a week from now to take on Midland. So far, the next week is when we're up in Tulsa. So far, that will do. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left on for San Antonio as we head to the 8th inning. Springfield up by 3 at 6-3. Jobert, Yeager, and Bernal will lead it off top of the 8th when we come back here for the Springfield Cardinals here in this one. Well, we head to the top of the 8th inning for Springfield, right now the Missions Baseball Network. Well, gotta say, the Rough Riders in Arkansas now head to the 10th inning scoreless. And boy, gotta say, it is not going well as they give up a whole ball game and probably boredom and hit the fans there at All-American Ballpark in North Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm John Baker, along with my side partner here as we get set for the 8th inning. Bob, how you doing? You still hanging in there?
Yeah, I'm still hanging in there, John. Still awake.
Did you get your cup of coffee already?
Yeah.
Well, Wichita having a 1-0 lead. Springfield 6-3 in this one. Braden Gilbert coming in as he'll greet up Kevin Copps. And that's going to be right there. Line drive up to right field. That's a base hit. Boys, Springfield trying to pull away in this one, and they are. Designated hitter is R.J. Yeager as he comes in. And he's going, and that is foul. Trying to steal a base. And that one's going to be hard hit, foul. And the count now 0-2. Well, evidently, Corpus Christi getting beat by Tulsa right now. They're at the top of the 7th inning. They're at Bayfront Park. Tulsa has Corpus Christi on the run. Their score 9-2. Frisco and Arkansas scoreless, but evidently Frisco can put in the go-ahead run there at second base. That one fouled off. The count now 0-1 to Leonardo Bernal. Boy, bases now loaded for Tulsa. And evidently that looks pretty good, I imagine.
Yeah, pretty much for the Drillers.
Trying to get in the second of this 6-game set here this week. Oh, right there, the countdown, 0-2. First time ever seeing Springfield and San Antonio, Tulsa next door in Corpus Christi. That's pretty good. Right there, cold third strike, got him. Bernal going down as the second casualty here in this second inning. Well, 8th inning, I should say. I do apologize. If I was in the second inning, we would be back to the top already. Ramon Mendoza coming in, 2-out runner at first, the top of the 8th inning. Oh, that one's going to be hard hit. That one deep, and where is it going? And it's out of here. How do you like that? Springfield coming in for a 2-run shot by Ramon Mendoza. And they will extend their lead. It's now a 5-run difference. Cardinals now leading San Antonio 8-3. And seeing where that one was, evidently that was right near the foul pole. And now the Springfield Cardinals getting going on that. Well, I think the manager has seen enough for the starter, or the first reliever, Kevin Copps, and that is going to do for him as he'll head to the showers after that. Then we'll get a left-hander like Jason Blanchard coming in. 4-seam slider, changeup, and a 2-seam fastball. He'll be the second reliever as he'll greet up firsthand Jeremy Rivas. Top of the 8th inning, Springfield 8, San Antonio 3. 2 out, nobody on for the Cardinals. 3 for 3, a triple single, 2 RBIs by Rivas tonight's had a pretty good night for the ball club. Wind up and the pitch. That's going to be a line drive. That is a base hit to left center field. Joshua Mears intercepts it. And so far, pretty good on that.
Now batting, the center fielder, Chris Rotundo.
Well, the center fielder, Chris Rotundo, coming back to the top of their lineup for Springfield. That's going to be right there, high in the air. Campbell gets after it, makes the play, inning over. Ramon Mendoza gets a 2-run shot, and they'll extend the lead to at least 5. Springfield up by 8-3 against San Antonio in this ball game as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. And after that, we will have a new reliever coming up for Springfield on the mound as we head to the bottom of the home 8th inning. Well, new score is, will look like the Tulsa Drillers, boy howdy, they got double digits now against Corpus Christi. They'll lead the Hooks 11-2. And so far, boy, that is a real dinger right there. Well, looks like the Frisco Rough Riders starting to get something going. They got 2-1, nobody out, top of the 10th inning. That's going to be a high pop-up foul. It looks like they've had 2 walks. I don't see any hits on there. Wichita now leading 5-0 against the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. Pretty good baseball tonight, Bob.
Yeah, I got to say, John, absolutely right.
We're seeing it here in San Antonio. Springfield up 8-3 in this one. And Wichita leading Northwest Arkansas 5-0. Frisco and Arkansas trying to convene a run, if necessary, there in extra innings. Then the 10th. Tulsa leading Corpus Christi 11-2. Boy, that is a 9-run difference right there. Midland leading Amarillo 4-1. And so far, boy, pretty good baseball tonight for our 10 ball clubs here. And so far, pretty good. Well, we're about set to go for the bottom of the 8th inning for San Antonio. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Well, thank you, Bob. We got Andre Granillo coming in as a four-seam slider. Curveball and a sinker comes in. Granillo now pitching for Springfield here in this one.
For San Antonio,
the catcher, Brendan Valenzuela, is trying up first. He's 0 for 3. So last time out, he flied out in the first inning. San Antonio down to their final 6 outs. They will play to the bottom of the 9th inning, which that is pretty good. Curtis Taylor and Matt Savinson now warming up for the Springfield dugout. Oh, it's the bullpen. Okay, same thing, whatever. But anyway, Valenzuela now up to the plate. No balls and 2 strikes to him here tonight. And that's a swing and a miss. Curveball gets him down on strikes. So 1 down here in the bottom of the 8th. And here's the center fielder, Joshua Mears, is 0 for 3. Boy, 1 out, 2-1 for the Frisco Rough Riders there in Arkansas. And so far, they're trying to do their level best to push that run across. If they ground into a double play, then the Arkansas Travelers would have their chance of winning that ball game against the Frisco Rough Riders. That one is right there. Line drive. That's getting down. Base hit. And that's going to be extra bases. Going to first, going to second. And he's going to have a stand-up double. That is Joshua Mears. Great play there. Double meat cheeseburgers for everybody on this night, including our military that's in the audience tonight. Whataburger served hot and fresh. And yes, Friday, the 8th, have 75-cent hamburgers all day starting from 11 a.m. Which that right there is pretty good. I'm all in for that. How about you, Bob? You in for 75-cent cheeseburgers?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'd probably take at least 2 or 3, and evidently
0-2.
share with my wife, and boy, she lives in cheeseburgers. So what type does she like? Does she like the single meat, the double meat? What do you get for her from Whataburger? I get the double meat cheeseburger, which with all the veggies on there and your choice of a medium fry and onion ring. And so far, pretty good on
Now
that.
batting,
Yeah,
number
for sure.
7.
San Antonio down to their final outs. Here is Jacob Campbell. 5-hole hitter with a runner in scoring position. Whataburger is serving hot and fresh 24/7, and that's going to be a run coming in to score. Here he comes, an RBI single. And now San Antonio getting a little bit closer. It's now a 4-run deficit. Cole Roederer coming in, trying to get some more runs in to score for San Antonio, and that's going to be fouled off. The count now 0-1. The first Whataburger, built in 1950 in Corpus Christi, Texas. Evidently, Bayfront Park has Whataburger built in there. There's at least 3 restaurants built inside of there. That's going to be a line drive. That is a base hit, and that one is gone. How do you like that? Cole Roederer blistered that one out of here. That was unexpected. Wow. And now they're coming as a 3 runs getting in, and so far they now trail Springfield at least 2 more of them runs. And that is for sure. And San Antonio tonight has a fighting chance. If they could come in and do what they did like last night, that'd be pretty cool. Time now is being called as here comes the manager, and that's going to do for this reliever coming in. So far, this ball game now 8-6.
Now pitching for Springfield.
Michael Gomez will be a right-hander coming in for the manager. There's a 4-seam slider and a 2-seam sweeper. Gomez now pitching for Springfield. Well, evidently first through third for the Frisco Rough Riders. 2 away. First run 90 feet in. And that one. And that's going to be a liner straight away up to left field. That's a base hit. And that will evidently put the tying run on base.
The second baseman, Williams.
And San Antonio making a push tonight, which that is pretty good. Yeah, I got to say, John, they are doing phenomenally well. That one right there, Nerwillian Cedeno comes in and fouls one off. The count now at 0-1. Springfield 8, San Antonio 6. Tying run at the plate for the San Antonio Missions. That's going to be lined high in the air, and that one's going to hit the wall, and that's going to get into extra bases. And that will be second and third. Now the tying run in scoring position there as second. Boy, Frisco struck for 2, and now they have that upper hand. Pretty good on that one. Well, San Antonio getting in. Here is shortstop Leo Dallas DeVries. Wind up and the pitch. That's an inside strike. The count now 0-1. Springfield looks like it's temporarily leading this ball game. Well, the go-ahead is DeVries. A 3-run shot could put them up in front by 9-8. And that got him. Ouch, and that's going to load up the bases.
The left fielder, Albert.
Leadoff batter Albert Fabian looks like to do the damage. A grand slam out of the ballpark would put them 10-8. And the pitch in for a strike. The count now 0-1. Bases loaded. Springfield in trouble. And they're pretty much feeling scared that they saw a ghost. That one's fouled off. The count now 0-2. So trying to salvage what's left of this 2-run lead for the Cardinals. The windup and the pitch, the 0-2. Outside for the ball, the count now 1-2. Well, if you're enjoying this broadcast tonight, well, I sure hope you are. Because evidently San Antonio looks to win this one like they did last night, 11-4 final. That one's fouled off, and that will go into the stands. And yes, be aware of flying objects when they least expect it. You'll see it coming. 1-2. Fouled off again, and Gomez already 10 pitches through his relief start for Springfield. And a pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. That ends the inning. Well, Cole Roederer gets a 2-run shot. And boy, they are trailing a bit closer. As now it's up to the 9th inning. Springfield up 8-6. Darlin Moquete will lead it off. Davis and Page will follow in from behind. And we're down to our last inning here on this Wednesday evening here in this one. Top of the 9th inning for Springfield right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Darlin Moquete will lead it off top of the 9th inning. 2, 3, and 4 due up against Jason Blanchard. Here for San Antonio, I'm John Baker, and this is my friend in the booth, Bob. Yeah, thank you, everybody, for coming in to this broadcast. Boy, you were pretty loud tonight there, John. Or you get the 2-run shot? Well, you know everybody has to get loud. Here's the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, evidently with at least tomorrow being a Thursday, Flying Chancla's return. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Last week against Midland, we've had at least 2 of those days. Here's the 1-2. That one high fly in the air and out of play. And the count now still holding on at 1-2. Don't forget game 3 of this series tomorrow night. Flying Chanclas taking on Springfield. Friday night as well will be night number 2 of Flying Chanclas and Springfield Cardinals. That would be really interesting. Just absolutely love flying chonkless. That one's got high in the air up to right field. Campbell moves under, makes the play, and that is out number one.
Now
Wichita
batting
having a
right fielder,
5-0 lead against the Northwest
Davis.
Arkansas Naturals. Chase Davis coming in now for Springfield. That one is lifted high in the air up to left field. Fabian moves under, and that is out number two.
The third baseman, number 8.
Springfield
Trey.
down to their final out here in the ninth inning, and that would bring in third baseman Trey Page. Page coming in, ready to go. San Antonio will have the bottom of the ninth to find a way to win it. That one fouled off. The countdown 0-1. Well, Springfield wins this one. They'll be 65, and that'll put San Antonio 60-43 of this contest. Here's the 0-1. That one fouled, and the count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to pitch.
Outside.
And that's a slider outside. The count now 1-2. Series will continue Saturday night. Our drone show. In view of the cancellation of the fireworks show, we do apologize
Yep, that ball
to
went
a
out.
lot of our viewers that we will not have a drone show due to apologies right there. We will not have a fireworks show because of hot temperatures and no rain in sight. Right there, called third strike, got him. There will be a drone show, and so far, catch that Saturday evening after the ball game. Sunday, we'll wrap up the series, and we head now to the bottom of the ninth inning. Springfield leading 8-6. So far, pretty good on that. Valenzuela, Mears, and Castañon, last 3 men for the bottom of the ninth, will lead it off for San Antonio when we come back in our broadcast. About set to go for the bottom of the ninth right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. And the right-hander, Ryan Shreve, will come in.
Ryan Shreve.
Four-seam slider,
Leading off for the
a curveball,
the catcher, Brandon
and a sinker coming in.
Valenzuela.
Brandon Valenzuela coming in now as lead off the last of this ninth inning here tonight. First pitch by Shreve is in for the cold strike. It's 0-1. 8-6. Springfield leading 2 runs. And that's a swing and miss right there. Dangerous on that fastball. The count now 0-2. That one is driven up nicely. That is deep. And that is going. It's going to hit the base of the wall. And that's going to hit the second. Valenzuela with a leadoff double. Man, and that would put the tying run at the plate. And San Antonio is in striking distance against the Springfield Cardinals. Man, all they have to do is power one out of here, and it would tie up this game, and that would put a winning run in for a decision. Joshua Mears could be the man doing it. He was the guy all season long. No balls, 2 strikes to Mears. Moon shining full on this Wednesday night. Here's the 0-2 delivery outside for the ball. And the count now at 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to center fielder Joshua Mears. And that one is high and outside, 2-2. Runner in scoring position. Tying run, Mears up to the plate. Outside, ball 3, trying to make him chase. He keeps teasing him with that low-to-ground fastball. And any comment about that, Bob?
Well, I gotta say, he's really trying to get him enticed with that fastball, John.
Yeah, for sure.
And even though, you gotta watch what he's doing.
And ball 4, yes he does. Right there, the tying run now on base.
Now batting, the first baseman.
And San Antonio now has the winning run. Marcos Castañon getting ready to get something going. Here is the pitch. And that one is down and out. And the count now 1-0. Winning run at the plate. That is Castañon. Here's the pitch. That's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. A great holdup.
No strikes.
Nobody out here in this half inning. Still a good opportunity to win this one in a walk-off home run. Here's the pitch. And that is in for the strike. The count 2-1.
1 strike.
2 balls, 1 strike, the count. Springfield 8, San Antonio 6. That is right there. Ground ball. That is 1. That is 2. And they get them both. 6-4-3 double play, and that will eliminate a 50-50 chance of coming back in this one. Boy, San Antonio had it right where they wanted it, but grounding into that double play will really put the nails in the coffin after that.
How do you think Dracula tried to escape that coffin?
Well, I don't know. He couldn't escape because the nails were driven into it.
Good one.
Jacob Campbell coming in. He's the last man out
That's ball 2.
on the batting order for the San Antonio Missions here tonight. That's going to be driven up nicely. That is a base hit, and that's going to get down. And that's going to get something going. And that is an RBI triple. And Springfield now being tailed It is now a 8-7 ball game here tonight. And now San Antonio needs the winning run. That is Cole Roederer. Roederer coming in, looking in from the stretch, and that's going to be lifted high in the air. And that is the ball game. Well, Springfield winning this one. And San Antonio trying to come back and claim the 61st. The Springfield will get their 65th of this evening. And so far, Cardinal fans really happy about that. Well, the Frisco Rough Riders still holding on second place. They beat Arkansas in extra innings by the final score of 2-0. Boy, it was 3 up, 3 down innings for the Frisco Rough Riders and Arkansas Travelers there at All-American Ballpark. Well, I can say what it is there in Tulsa, or should I say Corpus Christi. Well, Corpus Christi Hooks are just getting whooped. Tulsa Drillers 13, Corpus Christi 2, and that might just be a ball game in the top of the 8th inning that has already been called. So yes, the Drillers will win their 45th. Corpus Christi now their 66th loss of the year. Well, looks like Northwest Arkansas might have lost that one. 6-0 in that broadcast there at the porch, I would say, but Riverboat Field, home of Northwest Arkansas. Now, even though San Antonio does not go to Northwest Arkansas, but it will be Frisco, Midland, Corpus Christi, and Amarillo that gets that road trip up to North Little Rock in Northwest Arkansas. Well, evidently, it seems to me that Windsurge now leading 2.5 games against the Arkansas Travelers. Northwest Arkansas now at 49-55. And that was a game called in the top of the 9th inning with pretty much 2 outs to go. But anyway, it looks like Midland will have that one and stuff. But anyway, well, let's go ahead and give you a replay vault of what we've seen through this ball game. And so far, enjoy our little replay as we go through this evening. Pretty good night thus far for Springfield, 8-7 in this broadcast. 1-run victory for the Cardinals as they win their 65th of the season. Man, and that would upset a lot of fans to see that, but evidently it is what it is. Midland is going to win that one, and that will do it. So the 51st, they'll still tie up against Amarillo. And so far tomorrow, if winning number 52 gets them the 3rd place, then they'll have to work their way up to getting up to the 2nd place area. That will definitely put Frisco to 3rd if that happens, but anyway, pretty good night for baseball, and so far, final score 7-1 against the Sod Poodles. And yep, that means everybody played baseball, which that is pretty good. Well, a fun Wednesday night here in the Texas League, and so far we're on to another day. as we are just 2 days away from the weekend. And so far, that was pretty fun. Well, anyway, we're going into our pregame, after-game show, I would say. And so far, pretty good night, Bob.
Yeah, I got to say, John, it is. Ramon Mendoza, 3 for 4, 2 home runs that led to 3 RBIs.
Winner on the mound for Springfield is Alex Cornwell, as he gets that one. And Omar Cruz getting the loss for San Antonio. Springfield, 8 runs, 15 hits, no errors. And for San Antonio, it's 7 runs, 13 hits, and no errors for the San Antonio Missions. Which that right there was pretty good there, Bob.
Yeah, I got to say, absolutely right.
Well, yeah, it was a beautiful night, and yeah, the moon is full, and gotta say, it's just a lovely evening, and hope everybody takes this opportunity to go outside, get a little fresh air, and being at the ballpark. That's what really matters when you're out here and you're enjoying the baseball, and so far you come out and enjoy the Grand Old game, which we all love. But anyway, we thank everybody for tuning in to our broadcast. Our final score, the Springfield Cardinals 8 and the San Antonio Mission 7. And so far, ending this one, we say goodnight here in the Texas League. And so far, we'll see you tomorrow for Flying Chanclas returning, taking on the Springfield Cardinals. I guess they are wearing their uniforms too. It's like a light blue, but we'll see that tomorrow. Anyway, for all of us, have a good night, and we'll see you again tomorrow. First pitch, 7:05. Gates open, 6 o'clock. And so far, give you final scores. One more time, the Frisco Rough Riders through 10 beat the Arkansas Travelers by a final score of 2-0 in extra innings. Midland winning 7-1. Springfield winning 8-7 against San Antonio. Wichita winning against Northwest Arkansas 6-0. Tulsa wins 13-2. And so far, that was a pretty bad ball game there at Bayfront Park in Corpus Christi. And so far, gotta say, that's just awful as it sounds. But anyway, thank you guys for an amazing night. And we will see you all again tomorrow evening. Game 3 of our 6-game set against Springfield. Have a good night. And yeah, Bob, good night to you. And see you at work tomorrow.
Yep, see you at work, John. Good night, everybody. Have a safe travel home.
That's right. Safe travels. And we'll see you later.